All right, what's up? It is time for us to go live. Welcome to Winning in Your Interview. Today, we're going to be talking about the best way to negotiate pay. The very best way to negotiate pay. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section. We're going to talk about that. But today, we're going to talk about the best way to negotiate pay. So, welcome here on YouTube, and we want to welcome you on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm going to be sharing some information with you that is really going to help you. I've had tons and tons of people all week long talking about pay. You're getting to the process where they're ready to make you an offer and you're blowing it, right? There are some hiccups happening and you are not getting the offer and you don't know why you're not getting the offer. And I'm going to talk to you about the best way to negotiate pay, how to do that. So just a little bit of housekeeping. Please share this live right now. If you're on Instagram, click the share button and share this live on your page with as many people as possible, because I'm going to show you how to never, ever leave money on the table again. Now, I'm the guy that typically does the pay negotiation with candidates when they're coming in the door. I'm the guy as the talent acquisition leader who authorizes what that pay looks like going to the hiring manager. And there are strategies that I use to get that information to you so that it's in the best interest of the company. And I'm going to talk to you about what that strategy looks like, why I do it the way I do it. And I'm going to talk to you about how you can get around that, or how you can put yourself in a position of being in the advantage, or you could be in the position where you remain in control and have the power. Okay, that's what this is all about. My whole purpose, my mission, my vision is to give candidates control over the interview process so they can have, so they don't have to be taken advantage of during the interview process. All right. So just a couple of housekeeping things. I've created a guide. I think it's like $7. If you click the link in my bio, the best way to negotiate pay is a guide that I have that you can grab right now. All you got to do is go to the link in my bio and grab it. And it'll help you understand what the pay process, the pay negotiation process looks like, and how you can take advantage of it so that you can maximize your earnings and what you're going to be able to get for a job and take care of you and your family no matter where you go. This pay negotiation is also good if you are currently working for a company and you decide that you are either going to move to another position, you want to get some sort of pay increase, you want to ask for a raise, all of that good stuff. It's the same exact tenets inside of this guide will show you exactly what to do as well. Again, if you click the link in my bio, it's a guide that says the best way to negotiate pay. Never leave money on the table again. I'm telling you the insider secrets to how that works. Now, if you have a job interview that's coming up and you want to ask me a question, leave it in the comments. If you have a resume issue or you're submitting your application and you are not getting calls back, no one is reaching out to you to schedule an interview, that usually means it's a problem with your resume. I have a resume template that gives you an example. Everything in that resume template, you can click the link in the bio. If you need to understand how to get through the interview process, somebody's about to interview you and you want to know, well, what kind of problem am I solving for this company, so you can be able to answer that question. Either leave a question in the comment section or you can request to join up. I will be happy to answer those questions for you. Any question you have about the application, interview, hiring, offering process, I will answer those questions for you live today. If you want to support me, and thank you to everyone who sent me a Cash App over the course of the last week. This information was helping you, and you just wanted to give a donation so that I can continue to do this for free for you. Click the link in my bio, and you can send me a Cash App right now if you like to. You can get badges if you're on Instagram. Just click badges, and that's a way to donate as well. So I appreciate that. But I want to get right into this because I'm having conversations with a ton of people, and this is an issue. Here is the first thing right out the gate I want everybody to understand. Pay for a job is a qualifier, just like skill is a qualifier for a job. Pay is a qualifier. And you can get all the way through the interview, and the hiring manager wants to hire you, but your pay is off and you will not get the offer. That's when they will come back to me and say, Dan, we're going to pass on this candidate. Please go find me somebody else. I'll ask why, and they may say, well, this person wants too much. Now, what I try to do for candidates going through the pre-screen process is I try to get the pay question out of the way right up front so that I can make sure when I send those interview pre-screen notes over to the hiring manager, when I send that stuff over there to them, that is already settled. That is not an issue. That's why I do it that way, because for years I've seen so many people get to the offer phase and be rejected in the offer phase because the pay was too much, okay, that they wanted, all right? You need to understand how to negotiate compensation on your own behalf, because you're not going to have someone like me all the time who is going to be able to negotiate on your behalf, okay? Now, as a talent acquisition leader, as a talent acquisition manager, my team and I advocate for the candidate. Let me give you an example. So if I have a candidate that has 10 years experience in an area, hypothetically, let's say this position pays $40 to $50 an hour. $40 an hour would be a person who is entry level, if you will. And I know that's a lot of money, but I'm just using this as an example. 40 would be entry level. $45 an hour will be mid-level, and $50 will be the senior level. That's the top we can pay for that particular job. If I have a candidate who has, 5 years, 6 years experience in a job, and I ask them the question that I typically ask, I'll ask, tell me what's the least amount you're willing to accept for a job. And then I'll pause and say, before you answer that question, what I mean is this. If this was the perfect company and you wanted to work for this company, this job has to pay at least what for you to accept this offer? And let's say that person says to me, $40 an hour. I would say to that person, that's good, but I'm going to tell the hiring manager 46. Would you be okay with that? Now, why do I do that? Because I know that based on that person's experience, they're at the mid-level range, and 40 is too low for them. It's going to create pay equity issues inside of the organization. 45 is a little where they need to be, and I always go a little higher. Now, let me just tell you this. I am going to tell you why I do that to you. I'm going to tell you why I do that to you, okay? If you have a question, Samar, you can ask it in the comments, or you can request to come on live just by clicking that button at the bottom to join me. Or you can ask it in the comments. So let me tell you why I do that to you. You see, I don't want you to get all the way to the offer phase and reject the job because it pays too low. So I always go slightly above what you want. So if you say $40 an hour, I'm going to say, okay, your experience is more like 45, but would you accept 46 if they offered it? And you will say, yeah, this is what this is what I do. I will tell the hiring manager, this candidate wants 45. They have 5 years experience and they want 45. Well, I already know, because I've already had a conversation with the hiring manager, that that's within the guidelines of pay for that position and a person with your experience. I already know. So the hiring manager already knows that you're within that range. It's within the range for the hiring manager. It's higher than what you want. So when that offer comes back, when that says, yes, I want to hire this person, they were impressed with you, I then say to the hiring manager, would you be okay with paying them 46? right? And if the hiring manager says yes, then I come back to you with that good news. Hey, how did you like the interview? How was it? Is this a position that you're interested in? You are? Okay, great. Well, I had a conversation with the hiring manager and we would like to offer you 46 an hour. Is that going to work for you? Now, I already know the answer to the question because you and I already had a conversation about it. You done already told me that you would take 46. Now, what you see is I am working for you. I'm working on your behalf, and I am. Talent acquisition recruiters should be working on the behalf of the candidate to make sure they're bringing great qualified candidates into the organization. Now, what is the other reason I do that? JMS, how are you doing? Let me tell you the other reason I do it. If you wanted 40 and I offer you 46, you're going to stay with the company for a while because you ain't going nowhere else. Nobody else is going to offer you 46 as easy as we offered you 46. So now what does that do? That means we created longevity in that position through the tool of pay. And you're going to stick around. Now, I know all of this seems like it's funny and crazy, but that's how the game works. Companies are trying to get the best candidates they can for a fair and equitable salary. You are trying to get the best pay you can so you can take care of you and your family. That's what you're trying to do. My job is to advocate for you and for the company at the same time. Now, let's say you and I are in a pre-screen and I say the position pays $40 to $50 an hour and you have 5 years experience and you say to me, I won't take this position unless it pays 55. That's the end of the interview for me and you. It's over. I'll tell you. Now listen, this position for a person with your skill pays about 45, no more than 46. You've already told me you want 55. It's over. I'm done, right? I'm not moving you on in the process because you just disqualified yourself with pay. So there is a strategy that you need to be aware of at all times so you can maximize pay. What am I saying? We have a $10 difference, okay? $10 an hour over 40 hours a week is what? $400. Okay? We have a $20,000 gap a year. Okay? And we have to figure out some kind of way, if you are a supremely qualified needle in the haystack candidate, to cover that gap for you. And compensation and salary is not always the only way. Maybe there's a sign-on bonus that's 10 grand. Maybe there's a performance bonus at the end of the year that's 10 grand. Well, we just covered that pay gap. So we're paying you $45,000 a year, but we're throwing in a front-end bonus and a back-end bonus based on performance. That is something that many companies are willing to do. At the end of the day, you need to understand how pay negotiation works. I'm an expert at it. An expert. I will not let a hiring manager take advantage of a qualified candidate, and I will not let an underqualified candidate take advantage of our company. I'm not going to do it. So I'm an expert at it. My job is to get you to the hiring manager with all of that information up front and out of the way. But what happens in many instances is you are interviewing with the hiring manager and you're naked. That means you don't have no representation, no recruiter, no talent acquisition person is advocating for you on your behalf. And you are butt naked out there trying to negotiate this pay for yourself. And you get all the way through the interview and think you nailed it. And you give them some arbitrary number based on some crazy thought you have in your mind about what you're worth because you didn't do all of the research. And they don't make you the offer. And listen to me, they don't care. They're coming back to me because they know I can recruit. They know my team can recruit. And they're just going to say, find me somebody else. And that's what we're going to do. So I'm trying to help you understand how to figure out how you can negotiate on your own behalf so that you are not taken advantage of and you know exactly what's going on. And I'm I'm going to run down this pretty quickly, but if you want that guide, I think it's $6.99. It's a grab and go guide. You can get it by going to the link in my bio right now. All right. So let me let Bobby Tyndall up. Is this the Bobby Tyndall that I know? Hold on, let me see. Oh, yeah, it is. Bobby, we only gonna be on just a second, man. Now, this brother right here, I'm just gonna interrupt this live for just a second, because if this brother can come up, he's been we've been friends for years. Brother BT, how you doing, man? BT, can you hear me?
What's going on with you?
Good. So now listen, folks, I know Bobby is not coming up here to ask no question, but let me give you guys a little bit of history here. This brother and me served in the U.S. Army for many, many years. I've known Bobby for 30-something, 40-something years. And there is a brotherhood, a kindred spirit. Man, it is so good to see you.
Bro, I'm loving you, bro. Hey, it's been a long time.
I appreciate it. And here's something else too. Now, I've never told Bobby this, and I want to tell you this. If you find somebody that's a friend, that can be a true friend for life, embrace them and love on them. Bobby sends me a text message almost every day, 365 days a year. Now, I know why he does that, right? We used to check on each other like that when we were in the Army. Every single day, we made sure that we were good. So there are some brothers that I served with in Germany 30, 40 years ago, and we are still best of buddies, partners, all of us. Ain't we, Bobby?
And we're still here.
Yeah, and we're still here.
We're still here. You know, the Lord has been, moving. And once I got to the States, I had to hook up you. I had to find you. I didn't know you was there because I thought you're from, but you're in Texas now. Now I understand.
Yeah. So we had some great times, some good memories. So Bobby, let me go ahead and finish this, and you and I'll connect via phone later. All right. So click that little X on your screen there so you can head out, man. But it's good to see you. I love you, my brother.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate you. Yes, sir.
All right. So at the end of the day, the most important thing for you guys to understand is you have to have an advocate. And 99% of the time, listen to me, it is not going to happen. The that you're working with is not going to advocate for you. Let me explain to you something that happened today. This is what I advised today with a client. Okay, check this out. What's up, Brock? I'm sorry. There's another brother on here that served with us as well. Brockington, what's up, man? It's good to see you too, Brockington. And we're in the same city, so we got to hook up. So I had a brother today, one of my one-on-one clients. He is definitely a needle in a haystack, okay? And he has an interview, I think tomorrow with a company. He has a very specialized skill, okay? And so he hasn't filled out an application. He was referred to the hiring manager because they've been trying to fill this position. And essentially it's in the medical field, it's territory sales. And he asked me a question about pay. He said, Dan, I have no idea what this job pays. I don't know what it pays. So when I get on this interview tomorrow, should I ask? And I said, no. I wanted to scream into this microphone. No, do not talk about pay. And when she asks you, what are you looking to make? You say, I'm open. Now, why do you do that? The guy will tell you this. Because you want to maintain control of the process. And we talked about it from this perspective. I like to play dominoes. He does too. I can have dominoes in my hand and I could be playing against him and I could show him my dominoes. Or if you're playing cards, you can show a person your cards. Bobby and Brock wouldn't understand this. But even if I show you my cards, you can't play them. Okay? So what I tell people is, don't show your hand first. Let them see how awesome you are. Then you come back to them with what does the position pay, and they will tell you. See, now let me tell you how hiring managers think. Listen to me. If they have gotten through the interview and they are massively impressed with you, right? They don't want to lose you. And you have not discussed pay. Now, again, the candidates that I work with, I already get pay out of the way. So, but I've seen this happen a bazillion times. If you the interview and you continue to say, I'm open, and you impress the socks off of this hiring manager, and they know you are perfect for their team. They know it, right? Now they are a little afraid of losing you because we have not talked about the most important question when it comes to you joining the team, and that is money. That's pay. They have no idea what you are willing to accept, what you're not willing to accept, what you want, what you don't want, what you will accept. They have no idea. So they are afraid of that. Now, in the company that I work for, I've taken that power out of the hand of the hiring managers, and my talent acquisition team and we do the negotiation, because I know that this is a fear. They spend this time investing in having this conversation, and they get to the pay question, and they have not talked about what the position pays because the person said, I'm open, right? Then they get to the question of pay, and the candidate says, well, I'm open. What is the position offering? Okay. That's when they are going to show you their hand. Now, if you get the guide, you will have information in front of you already that talks about the low, median, and high income for this role based on your experience in your area. California pays one thing, New York pays another, Florida pays another, Wisconsin pays another, Texas pays something else. You will know that. So if they come back to you with a number that is agreeable, listen to what I'm about to tell you now. Let's say it is at the high end and you agree. That's definitely something I'm interested in. You need to also lean into this. Well, that's a very generous offer. Are there other incentives included? Thank you so much. That is a very generous offer. Are there other incentives included? The hiring manager says, like what? A sign-on bonus, a performance bonus, flexible work schedule or hours. I mean, are there any other incentives? Whatever that is, right? And that manager would have to go in their bag, because again, remember, they like you, so they got to go in their bag to think about it. Now, that answer may be no, but 99% of people do not ask this question. Are there other incentives included? With my job, they gave me a median offer. I came back with $10,000 more than what they offered me. And I explained to them why they were going to have to pay me $10,000 more. And I negotiated a 10% bonus based on my performance annually, a 10% bonus on my annual salary that they would have to pay me annually because if I met my KPIs. And I got the opportunity to create and develop my KPIs. And it was much higher than what they thought they would want me to accomplish. Time to hire, number of candidates, interview to hire ratio, right? Time that a person stays with the company, all of those things. I put those numbers together and submitted them to the CEO and said, these are the KPIs that I will knock out of the park. And for that, the additional incentive on top of a signing bonus is a 10% performance bonus at the end of the year, paid by January 31st. So it's the second paycheck every January, which is 10% of my annual salary. Okay. Most people don't do that. If you have a specialized skill, you need to understand, you should always ask the question, thank you for this generous offer. Are there other incentives included? Okay. So let me stop and answer this question. Okay. Samara asked a question. Before I answer your question, Samara, tap the screen to show some love. share this live so other people can join on. And I encourage you, click the link in my bio and get the resume template and get the negotiating pay guide. Get it. There's another one. If you have an interview that's coming up in the next week, there's another guide that is what you should know before you go. It takes everything you need to know so that when you walk into the interview, you can be prepared. Okay. I had a client today, and she's on this live right now, that she has an interview with the police department. And I gave her keys to what she should know before she goes to that interview, things that she should do before she goes to that interview. Why am I telling you this information? Because I do not want anybody to have any negative thought about you when they meet you. I've checked out your social media. You have tattoos. You don't have this, or I don't want any. We want to eliminate all of that. Okay. So there's a guide up there that's what you should know before you go. And one of the things that you will know is, what problem do I solve for this company? What problem will my position be solving for this company? There's a way to know that. As a talent acquisition manager, leader in talent acquisition for 35 years, I know the problem I solve. My job is to find, screen, evaluate candidates for jobs that are open, right? My job is to eliminate turnover by increasing quality, right? My job is to increase the time to fill a ratio, right? We don't want it to take 21 days to fill a job. We want to try to fill it in 7 days or 10 days. My job is to streamline the interview, hiring, offer process and support hiring managers so they can have people when they need them, at the moment they need them, any second they need them for any skill. I know those are the problems that I solve within an organization. That's my job. You need to know that about your job. And if you get that guide, what you should know before you go, when you sit in front of a manager, I don't care if it's a customer service, admin assistant, data entry position, a manager, a territory salesperson, police officer, I don't care what it is, you will know the problem you solve for the organization. So Samar Sam 139 says, what about if you choose to do a master's degree in law and or working in my country? You can't do both of them at the same time. I hesitate a lot. Okay, so I'm not understanding your question. Are you talking about working versus getting a master's degree? Are you talking about trying to choose one of those? Help me understand what you mean by that, because I don't understand your question fully, but I would love to answer it. Okay. Ant says, is the resume template for a high C-level CIO? Yes. So let me explain something to you. Ant, I am responsible for hiring C-level executives in our organization as well. So that falls on me in our organization. So my team does not hire senior managers to C-level executives. Okay. It does not. So why does this resume template apply to C-level executives? Why should you get it? Let me explain to you why. As a C-level executive, I know you're CIO, Chief Information Officer. Here's the deal. You have problems to solve as well, right? You're leading the organization in that particular area. And you have to prove to the CEO and sometimes the COO why you have the expertise to do that particular job. Okay. So I used to be a COO many years ago for a staffing agency. And my job was to shape, manage, create, and grow the operation so that it can expand nationwide from California all the way to New York. And I needed to make sure that I had clear plans to build the infrastructure for that organization, and so that it can be built out in a cost-effective way, right? Meaning we're not spending more money than we're making. We're maximizing the positions that we have. We don't have too many layered positions. We don't have any of those things that's costing us way too much money. Can I get the max out of a manager that can be a manager plus a person who runs a full desk? Can I have people that support them that do X, Y, Z? As a C-level executive, as a chief information officer, you have to build out that part of the business. I don't care if it's a global company or a national company, Fortune 500 company, it does not matter. You have to demonstrate on that resume your ability to solve that particular problem as a CIO for any organization. This works for any job. I don't care if you're a hamburger flipper at McDonald's. I'm just going to run it down real quick. You have to have a captivating headline. Recruiters and chief executive officers, HR professionals, anybody that's worth their salt looking at a resume want to know, what is this person all about? And a lot of times people have an objective. This is what I want to do. No, I want to know what you do, right? Captivating headline. Then you have to have a summary of your accomplishments. What have you, quantifiable accomplishments. I can say and have on my resume, I managed a territory that was 7 states wide, 26 recruiters hiring 3,500 people every single year for a customer service call center. Peak season, 6 months a year, hiring financial professionals, and the rest of the year we hire regular individuals, keeping those seats warm and for companies like Allstate and many other companies like that. In 7 different customer service call centers in 6 states. I manage the recruiting for every single one of them. That is a quantifiable accomplishment, a skill, an area of expertise. What are the expert skills that cause me to be able to do that attach me to that? As a CEO, CIO, COO, CTO, whatever C you are, you need to be able to communicate that on your resume. So when a CEO sees that, they can see your expertise and how it butts up against your expertise, the quantifiable expertise that you've accomplished. Then after they've seen all of that, you back all of that up with your work history. That's what that resume template will do. Is an example inside of the resume template that will show you how to do all of that. So yes. Now, what is the problem with most people's resume? It's too confusing. There is no easy way. When I look at your resume, when a hiring manager looks at your resume, when a CEO looks at your resume, there is no easy way to determine how much of an where you are an expert, number one, and number two, how much of an expert you are. People don't have that on their resume. People are leading with their work history, but a talent acquisition person, a CEO or hiring manager has to almost decipher that resume to try to understand your expertise. You are there to solve a problem for the company. That's what a job is, okay? Your job is to solve a problem for the company. And your resume has to have quantifiable, clearly defined areas of expertise that you have and what you've done. I'm telling you, listen to me, 99% of resumes don't have it. They have their work history. So now you're making me decipher and read how many calls you took on a daily basis as a customer service representative. What percentage of calls were customer satisfied? How much you do in data entry? How much money you saved the organization or sold for the organization as a sales representative? How much revenue were you able to help an organization earn as a chief operating officer, right? Chief operations officer, right? What was the employee engagement like for a VP of HR? As a talent acquisition manager, what was the turnover rate like, right? Those are quantifiable skills, quantifiable abilities that need to be on your resume. 99% of resumes are missing them. I would say that they are all operating from an old school resume template. So the resume template that I've created is designed to attract guys like me who've been doing it for a long time. I come from the resume on a printed piece of paper era. I was around before Monster.com, CareerBuilder, Indeed, and LinkedIn were even created, right? I've seen the progression of how resumes work and grow, right? So yes, it is good for a CIO or CEO. Okay, so Peace, Love, and Laughter says, what template would you suggest or recommend for a recent graduate with over 7 years of experience? Should we use the objective part in the resume or take that information out? I do not no one can, listen to me. I'm going to tell you guys the truth. Okay? peace, love, and laughter. No one cares about what you want. I did a video on that today. Do hiring managers really care about what you want? No, they don't know you. They care about what you can do for them. That's all they care about in the beginning. Now, once you become part of the team, obviously, they care about you. They care about making sure that you have good work-life balance and that they're not, you're not being dragged through the dirt. Yes, but when you are in an interview, they don't know you. They only know the paper that they see and the person that's sitting in front of them. When I say know you, I'm talking about know you like I know Bobby or like I know Brock. You know what I'm saying? Like I know my military buddies that I served with. I know those guys, right? Your hiring manager does not know you. So what is the answer to your question? Should you have an objective? No, I do not have an objective on the resume template. I have a captivating headline. A captivating headline. Gone are the days of an objective. My objective is to obtain a position doing X. We know that. That's why you're interviewing for it. But what makes you a superstar candidate? It is a captivating headline that clearly talks about who you are and how bad a mamma jamma you are. Now I'm telling you how old I am, right? That's what a captivating headline. That resume template has that. I can tell who you are just by that captivating headline, not an objective. You applied for the CFO job, so I know your objective is to get a CFO job. But what kind of CFO are you? Write a captivating headline that tells them you are a cost-saving, budgeting, accounting, accountability, numbers crunching guy. What that captivating headline is that talks about 2 or 3 things that describe you perfectly in that headline. The template will show you where it goes on your resume so recruiters and hiring managers see it immediately and it answers their questions right off the bat. Okay? Leave that information out. That's what I would answer. I know I gave you the answer. Okay, RW1619 asks the question, does age really matter in the tech market? Age does not matter. Listen to me. I want to make sure I say this in as loving a way as I can, but I'm going to be very firm. Age, young or old, only matters to those who value youth or maturity. Okay? So the short answer to your question is age doesn't matter in any market unless it is some physical labor type job. Even in those types of positions, companies value maturity over youth. Why? Because they don't have time to be wondering if you are doing your job, if you're going to show up, if you're going to be there on time. They know that you are over 40, over 50, you have a mortgage and a family to take care of. You are going to be at work. You're going to be there and you're going to do the job and you're going to be a team player and you're going to make things happen. They know that. There are so many things that are unpredictable about young people coming into the job market. And you were young once as well. You didn't know what you wanted to do, how you wanted to do it, where you wanted to do it, when you wanted to do it. You were working to get money so you could party on the weekends for the most part. Companies value maturity, value it at every level. They want to make sure that they don't have anything to worry about. On my second or third day of work at the organization that I work for, I got keys to the entire building. Why do you think that? They didn't know me. Why do you think they did that? Because I'm a mature professional. A mature, responsible professional. I'm not going to be late to work. I'm not going to call in sick. No, I'm going to get the job done. So there are companies out there that value maturity, age, experience. Okay. I am going to do a guide that helps you guys understand that. Okay? Don't know when I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do that because I get that question all the time. All right? And I'll make sure that I provide that to you. Peace Love says, thank you. Captivating headline, JMS7. That's right. Okay, so that's, you put captivating headline, question mark. What is a captivating headline? If you get that resume template, I explain to you exactly what a captivating headline is. Okay, get that resume template and make sure your resume has a captivating headline. And there are 3 other sections that it must have before it gets to your work history. Okay, in the old days, let me kind of let you guys know exactly what's going on here. In the old days, we would look at a person's work history and we would try to find out what they did, right? And a lot of it was, do they know how to work on a computer or type? Do they know how to use Microsoft Windows? Do they know how to use Microsoft Office? We looked inside of the work history to see if that was present. Okay. And if it was, we would ask how much. And if it wasn't, we would ask if they knew that. Nobody asks that today. Nobody asks you if you can type or do data entry or use Microsoft Word or Excel or Windows because everybody uses it, right? We just don't know how good you are at it. And that's what's missing on a lot of people's resume. We cannot determine how good you are. So the person who can quantify their expertise the best on their resume is the person who's going to get the interview. So if you're not getting interviews, it's because you have failed to clearly communicate and quantify your expertise and level of expertise. I have solved that problem for you with the resume template. Click the link in my bio. Okay? If you have a resume and you want me to review it, I'm going to put my email address. I'm going to pin my email address in this chat. It's Coach Daniel Smiley at gmail.com. Coach Daniel Smiley at gmail.com. And if you send your resume to me, I will look at it for free and I will tell you the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. If it is good, I'm going to tell you. If it's not, I will tell you. Okay? I will tell you if it's good or if it is not. Coach Daniel Smiley at gmail.com. So you can send me your resume. Okay, Peace Love says I'm sending it over now. That's all awesome. Okay, the live is reconnecting over on Facebook. On Instagram. It says it's a poor connection, so we don't want to. All right. So RW1619 says, what's up, family? This guy is very informative. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. All right. So the live ended, but I'm going back up again. Anyway, I'll continue over here on YouTube until Instagram comes back. But the live ended over on Instagram for some reason. So I want to make sure that I am coming back to you guys on Instagram. Okay. So if you can hear me, if you can see me, great. But if you want to click the link in my bio, you can get that captivating that resume template, so we can make sure that you have the proper kind of resume that's necessary to capture the attention of hiring managers anywhere in the United States of America. All right. So that's all for the live today. I will be going live again tomorrow morning, and I will be sharing more information with you guys about how to get the tools and the training you need to win in every single interview. I will see you on the next live. Take care.